Hello and welcome back to the Spider's Web. And now we're going to be doing our zombies from Last Night on Earth. And I think for our painting demonstration here I shall be using this fella. Sorry, this woman. Okay, so I have missed a couple of areas. Okay, first off we're going to be using Abaddon Black. The reason I'm using that is because, as you could see, I haven't quite covered everywhere with the spray, so I'm just going over, touching up everywhere black on the model, just to be on the safe side. We're all starting off on the same colour, so I'm going to do that with this one. You don't necessarily have to do this. As I say, I'm doing this just to make sure that, as I say, all the figure is black before we start. I've zoomed out just a little bit to make sure I've got everything in camera shots, and here's the two models that I'm going to be doing today. So what we're going to do first is go over with Dark Flesh all the, well, not all the, but on her trousers, because with this being the brown zombies, you want brown clothing, you want brown, or you want more brown than any other colour on these, because as I said, these are the, oops, she doesn't have a full leg on that, full trouser leg on that side, so see what I was saying in the last video about being careful what you did with your brushes. As you saw then, I managed to dip my brush in and get it all up the furrow. It's just me being incredibly clumsy. I know I shouldn't do it, but I still do. The easy way of getting paint out of one of these pots is you dip your brush in, or you dip your handle of the brush in, put the brush on your palette, and then use your bristles to take up the paint and onto your model. But as I've said time and time again, I'm a bit too impatient for that. I just want to get paint in. But happy read. This is the older brush of my fine detail variety. I do have another one, which is why I'm not too bothered about this. It's just paint going on the figure that I'm bothered about with this. Okay, next let me just give this a bit of a shake first of all, because it's a tad watery. I'm just hoping giving it a shake would mix it a little bit. I may be wrong, but never mind. I'm wrong. It's one of those paints that's really watery. I do like this colour though. Actually, it's not looking too bad now. But anyway, as I say, it's not the right way to go about getting paint on your brush. Dipping it straight into the pot. You take it off, put it on your palette, and then you use your bristles. That is the best way of doing it. It enables you to control the amount of paint that's going onto your bristles, rather than hoping that you can avoid getting too much on the as you dip it into the pot. There we go. And there's our trousers done. Okay, next we have, well, this might actually surprise you. What have I done with it now? I'll put it back. We're doing the skin. So we're using Elysian green for skin. Yes, we do. The zombies, remember. Although you see I took it out of the lid, I could see where I was putting it, I could see how much paint I was getting on my bristles. And I didn't allow it to go onto the ferrule. Now we're wanting our old friend Screaming Skull. You can see what I'm doing now, can't you? I'm mixing Screaming Skull with the Elysian green to make a very pale zombie flesh tone, which is just a slight hint of green. Actually, I think I've got too much Screaming Skull, but by the same yardstick I might not have, because once I've put the wash on it might look completely different. Okay, so now we want the new brush, because I can't get into the detail areas with that one. There we go. And she has, as usual these days, a burn midriff. So tempted to put a little bit of a wing tattoo, tribal tattoo thingy on some over back, but it's covered, so I won't bother. And now hands and arms. I've noticed as well how YouTube have decided that comments are going to be going through to your Gmail account. I suppose that's okay for anybody who's got a Gmail account. If not, you either get one or get out, by the look of it. For some strange reason they're thinking that's going to make the comments more secure or something along those lines, but I don't understand how it personally, but might be some good reason. Even if that reason's only good enough to them. Right up. Now, as you can see, my paint is drying up. There are some parts that are still quite usable. God, she is so sexy, isn't she? There we are. I'm just going to add a touch more water into the paint just to see if I can salvage more of it while I just do this second one. So I'm only going to be doing these on camera. I don't see the point of doing the whole lot because you're just going to see me doing the same thing over and over again with the same colours, possibly slight difference in shade or whatever. I will try and make each one slightly different. I mean, this one might have a blue shirt rather than a brown one, but as I said, the majority will be brown because these are the brown zombies, as I have previously mentioned. I was going to say that and I've forgotten. But yeah, I'll do something slightly different with each figure. I'm not going to do them all exactly the same, but the clothing on this one's going to be brown in some way. This one might have a creamy colour, like a screaming skull coloured top, and dark brown trousers. The other one might have a completely different coloured top and brown trousers. So I'm just going to mix a little bit more paint because I haven't quite got enough to do what I wanted, and the idea now is try and mix. It doesn't have mix to get a similar shade. It doesn't have to be exactly the same shade. Near enough's good enough. And a little bit of water. And there we have it. That's as close as I could to the original mix, and it doesn't look too far out anyway. In fact, it looks incredibly close. Now it's her face. Hang on. Joey Jordison, Slipknot. It may just be me. It was just the thought that hit me as soon as I saw the paint go on it. Okay, that's that done, and I need to just touch up a little bit on this one's leg. Right. There we go. Next, I think we'll have the one thing I do not want to put on these is green. I may just stick with the browns, different colour browns for these. I could go for blues, I could go for yellows, I could stick with Screaming Skull, make it a little bit brighter with a bit of white, grey, what should I do, what should I do, what should I do? I think we'll actually go with this Kisler flesh. Not for flesh. Oops, I just need to give it a bit of a shake. Here we are. So I don't want it for flesh, I'm going to lighten it with Screaming Skull and use it for one top here. And puppets on here. Oh, it looks a bit weird at the moment, but once it's been washed and highlighted, it might look totally different. At least I'm hoping it will. It's not a colour I normally use for anything other than flesh, so I'm not sure how it's going to come out, but we can but try. And let's get... Okay, so I hope in the last video I answered quite a few questions that people may have had. That was my intention with it anyway. I just went a little bit overboard with it concerning the length and whatever, because I was expecting just to mention a few things and then get on with painting, but I looked at the clock and half an hour had gone by and I was still babbling, so I have I've transferred it over to my computer. I've been trying to get it to trying to edit it through Windows Media Player, but for some strange reason my computer's playing silly beggars. It keeps freezing on me and I don't know why. So I'm hoping I can get it up and running soon for you. This is just a bit of a date check just to make sure. This is the 7th of November. I did the last video earlier on this evening. It's now 10:30 at night. So it gives you an idea of how I'm working on this one. Okay, so that's that. On the next one I'm just going to use Tolerant sand. I'm not going to add anything to it. It's just going to be a straight Tolerant sand paint job. Just so you can tell the difference between the two zombies, because that's what I like doing. I don't like doing two of the same things the same, because, or two of the same models the same colours rather, because if there's two people both on the board at the same time, you can keep a track on which one you've moved, which one you haven't moved, which one is, well, depending on the game obviously, which one's activated, which one still needs to be activated, that kind of thing. So that is why I do them differently. It may not make any difference in this game. It probably won't make any difference because you don't activate them all separately, you just move them all and then just pile them all in at the heroes and try and destroy the heroes by the weight of numbers. But I suppose sometimes you can get one that activates on its own and you don't know which one's which. I know I'm murdered for that, not knowing which model I've just moved. Or in fact, in some cases I can't remember which one model I've just moved or what I've actually done with it. So there's that. As I said, they are slightly different. What I am going to do, just for a bit of fun with this one, in fact no, I think I'll wait until I get to the toxic ones. I know what my idea was. Oh dear. I know what I thought of, so that's why I'm laughing. You can wait to find out. I will be doing the toxic ones incredibly differently, especially these. So what I'm doing now is going over the Her in Dawnstone. I'll show you it's a medium grey. I'll be going over as usual with Agrex Earthshade or some such when I've finished the Her now. And once I've done that, I'll leave the video then and come back to it when the wash has dried, and then I can start doing all the highlighting and everything with it. There's that for that one. And this one I think I'm going to leave black, so I need to go over again with the Abaddon black. And again, it's just carefully trying to get around the face, because I don't want any of this black going on her face, or on her clothes, or anywhere else. I just want it going on her hair. And you don't want a thick coverage, you just want a very thin coverage of this, because it's just, or you just want enough so that when you start highlighting and dry brushing afterwards, it's not going to just look like straight flat pieces. You want some depth in it. Oh, I've gone over her face, like I said I didn't want to do. I have to mix a little bit more of that paint up, because it's too fiddly there to try and wash it off. So it's just some more of this. And it didn't look very green as it was mixed on here, but once you see it actually with brown, it's looking a little more green. If you, oops, do you not think? Okay, and I'm going to just go over once again her face, making sure I cover it all. I can now go over this one as well, because I forgot, I didn't make sure that I got into her eyes, eye sockets. There we are. And I just want to touch up a little bit on her hand and her arm here. There we go. Okay, so we just let that dry for a few seconds, and while we're doing that, let's talk about, I don't know, how are you today? Just need a quick slurp of pop. Right, these are looking much more zombie-ish. Yeah, so what I'm planning on doing is, as I say, doing these two in all three sets. So the green sets will do these two, in the red sets will do these two. The red sets I'm looking forward to now because I've had that idea, but as I say, keeping quiet on that. Okay, so wash time, and we're here with the Agrax Earthshade as per usual. Place that to one side, and we go all over the model. We're not fussed about how it looks, we want to give it a wash. We want the paint to go into the crevices, we want to see where the details are, and we want to slightly change the colour of the model so that when we come to highlight, the highlights will look a little brighter. Okay, so that's the one with the pinkish coloured shirt, and now the one which is the one that I just used Talent sand on. And it's, don't go sparingly with this, slap it on, because you want it to pool in the recesses. There we go. And finally, don't let it pool in any flat surfaces, obviously. You just want to make sure that it all goes into the crevices. So where it's on there, you don't want it pooling on somewhere like there or the forearm there. You want them fairly clear, but you do want it going into the little grooves of the toes and the eye sockets. And oops, gone off camera slightly. So there you go. I hope that you've enjoyed the video, and when I come back we can start highlighting these two fellas, or these two young ladies. Haha. Okay. So until next time, take care, God bless, and bye for now.